How does it sound to get better grades, to have more time to pursue your interests, and to have a vacation every 9 weeks? Well, if you like any of those, then I've got the answer for you. Year-round schooling. I know I sound completely crazy. Everyone thinks that year-round schooling is super weird. But if you look at the calendar for both the year-round and our traditional schedule, the year-round calendar, you spend about 9 weeks in class with 3 weeks out of class for a vacation. And you get a month for a summer vacation. But if you look at the traditional school calendar, you spend about 85 days in class with about 3 to 5 days off in the first semester, and then the second semester you spend about 95 days in class with a spring break, and then you get 60 to 70 days of summer. Although summer sounds wonderful, if you look at all the benefits, a year-round schedule can really benefit all types of students. The first benefit of year-round schooling is this prevention of summer learning loss. All teachers know that one of the biggest issues they face when coming back from a semester of school, coming back for a new semester, is they have to reteach the material they've taught in the past. So a lot of classes, especially when you get up to the high school level, you have to learn on a building block style. So you start with a small type of learning, and then you have to build upon it, so like in math and science. So one of those things that all these math and science teachers are facing is that they have to reteach this material to these students so that they can in turn teach them the new material. But according to the National Association for Year-Round Schooling, if schools adopted this idea, they wouldn't have to teach this much material over again, so they could fit in the requirements they needed to in each semester. Another benefit of year-round schooling is the students who are considered at-risk students. These students are students who fall behind in the beginning or don't catch up as easily. So, according to Texas A&M, these students lose more ground in the long term because they don't know the beginning building blocks. So, if they get lost in the very beginning, they may not end up graduating with their class because they don't know this material. But in a year-round schedule, these students have that 3 weeks off from those 9 weeks to catch up with their class so they can stay with their class and they continue to learn the material. But if you were in a traditional calendar style, these students would only have the time during summer or Christmas or spring break, which isn't very long, which makes them get behind. So a year-round schooling style would be best for the at-risk students as well. So my last benefit of year-round schooling is extracurricular activities. So how many of you right now participate in a sport or go to debate or participate in camps or even planning on going to college? Well, that's most of you. So a year-round schooling style fits all those types of requirements even better than the traditional style. So let's say that these students participate in clubs like club volleyball, like I did in high school, where you have to travel around, going to different tournaments. You miss that valuable school time. Or if you're going on college visits or you're going to camps and stuff, you miss that class time in the class with the teacher where you can learn the material and ask questions. But if you were in this year-round learning style, you would be able to schedule your trips and your vacations and your college visits in the 3 weeks between the 9 weeks where you don't have class, so then you don't miss the required material you need. So, all of these greatly benefit all types of students, but in every new type of situation, there's always going to be a counterargument. The main counterargument to year-round schooling is the maintenance of the school with the heating and the cooling. Because year-round schooling is in all 4 seasons of the year, including the hottest and the coldest of it, the school boards are going to have to pay more of their budget to heating and cooling the school. So many school boards, just by seeing the main cost, are going to nix out the idea just because of that. But they don't look at all the benefits, and they don't look at the standardized testing scores that are benefited in the long term by having year-round schooling. So, if year-round schooling is put into place, these students will score better on their standardized tests in the long term, which will give these school boards that budget that they think they're losing back, because of the better standardized test scores each student gets, the more the school gets for federal financial aid for each student. So, although this is a valid issue and a valid argument against year-round schooling, there is wonderful solutions that not everyone looks at. So, I believe that year-round schooling should be in place at every school across the country because it can benefit all types of students. So, as of right now, in California alone, there's 1,300 schools that participate in this. And they are seeing better standardized test scores in the long term than any other schools in the country. So, as a high school student right now, I believe that these schools and my schools in Kansas should be looking at this because as a high school senior and going away to college, I can see now on my past education and see that this could benefit me so much more. So, who really needs 10 weeks off of school when you can just have 3 weeks every 9 weeks?